Australia was introduced to Lane Pittman in April of 2022 when the then 16-year-old school student from Tamworth, with the glorious mullet haircut and his amazing voice, wowed audiences with his cover of Luke Combs' Even Though I'm Leaving as his audition for The Voice Australia. Lane and his magnificent mullet bulldozed through last year, and now he's rocketing into 2024 with the release of his self-titled EP that features the sensational track you heard a minute ago, Let's Get Lost. Since supporting Luke Combs on his sold-out Australian arena tour, Lane has been on a roll with no signs of slowing down, selling out his headline show at this year's Tamworth Country Music Festival, being nominated for the New Talent of the Year Golden Guitar Award, and with CMC Rocks just around the corner, the timing of his EP's release couldn't be better, and the excitement surrounding it couldn't be higher. It's pretty clear that this young bloke has got success written all over him, and I think I can safely predict that he has a huge career ahead of him. So I'll be keeping an eye on him and his progress for a long time to come. Anyway, I'm truly delighted to have Lane standing by on the phone waiting to have a chat with me. So let's bring him on air right now. Hello, Lane. How you going, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What a great day it is today. I forgot to ask, where are you located in Australia?
Look, right now I spend a lot of time in between Newcastle and Tamworth. So at the moment I'm down in Newcastle, but I'll be back in Tamworth real soon. We're getting prepped for the Let's Get Lost tour in a couple of weeks.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, I mentioned here that you're a school student from Tamworth, so I guess you would have to be based there at some point. Oh, dear. Anyway, look, welcome to the Country Club. It's great to have you on the show.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, as I said off air, you are more than welcome. You tick all the boxes when it comes to being a talented Australian country music artist. So, yeah, you'll get a lot of airplay on this show, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Now, tell us the story behind Let's Get Lost. Did you write that alone, or was it a co-write?
No, actually, this song, just like all the other songs on the EP, I didn't have a hand in writing. They all came directly from Nashville, and the writers on these songs, they've worked with some of the most amazing people in the industry. I have people that have written for Dan and Shay, Adele, there's Warren Ziders on there as well, who's doing a lot of stuff in the American country scene over there. So I've been really blessed with this EP.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, well, that's impressive stuff. Put the eyes on the back of my head, let me tell you. All right, so where can people go and buy your music?
Yeah, so you can stream my music on all your favourite streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, or if you head over to my website, lanepitmanofficial.com, we have physical versions of the EP for sale as well. Okay,
excellent. Alrighty, so let's. How long have you been playing? I mean, you're quite young. How old are you at the moment?
17. I turn 18 in just a couple of weeks.
You're going to get your driver's license?
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one, I bet.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. So look, you're still quite young, but where? Sorry. So how long have you been playing music?
Yeah, so I've been singing for, I think I worked it out not long ago. I think I've been singing for about 10 years now, and I've been playing guitar for the last 6.
Okay, all right. So, well, I'm trying to do the maths here. I'm not very good at mathematics, but obviously you started quite young, so it's not a bad start to a career in country music.
Look, I'm not doing too bad.
Oh, I think you're doing great, mate, myself. Putting great songs out there, and yeah, I mean, and you're doing a lot of live stuff as well, which is important.
Yeah, we are. We're keeping nice and busy, which is fun. We've done CMC and Meatstock. We played Country Fest, played over in Perth, and now we're gearing up, obviously, for this 3-week kind of East Coast tour as well.
East Coast tour, all right. Does that include Victoria?
Yeah, it does. We're playing a show down in Belgrave, just outside of Melbourne, which I'm really looking forward to. We're playing at the Sookie Lounge, and you know, Obviously I've been to Melbourne once before. You know, my only time playing in Melbourne.
Okay.
it's a little joke for me. The only time I ever played in Melbourne was at Rod Laver Arena, so it's going to be nice to get back to somewhere that's a little smaller.
Oh, that was with the Luke Coombs tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Okay, all right, that's great, yeah. Mate, that has to be a feather in your cap being on that show, surely.
Yeah, that whole tour, 3 weeks, we did 8 shows here in Australia and we did a show over in New Zealand. I think for me it was just sort of a learning experience. You know, I really got to soak up every moment I was there and talking to people from Luke's team and just really learning how a talent of that caliber really does what they do and makes it work so well.
Right, that's knowledge you can put in your toolbox that'll last you a good while, I think. Now, this has got nothing to do with your record, but do you like steam trains?
Steam trains? Oh, look, they're not too bad. I love a little steam train.
Okay, all right. When you're in Belgrave, that's where the Puff and Billy is. So if you've got the time and you take the time and you can go for a great ride on that steam train.
Yeah, definitely might. I think we're in Melbourne. We land in on the Thursday. It shows on the Friday, so I might check it out the Friday morning for sure.
Absolutely. If you're in Belgrave, that you can't go past the old Puff and Billy.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. So you've been playing for a while. So what actually drew you to the music industry? What made you wake up one day and say, "I want to be a country music artist"?
Look, I think for me, like it just sort of been a hobby, you know, coming through primary school, and it was really the only thing I was ever good at. You know, sports were never really my thing. Academically, I was okay. You know, I was middle of the pack in school, but music was the one thing that really I could kind of sink my teeth into and could notice that I was getting better. And even my mates, it took them a while, but you know, once I kind of got to high school and the voice broke and I learned to play the guitar, they were like, "Oh, look, Lane, you're not half bad at this." And that was when I really thought, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to try and give it a crack.
Good on you. That's I love that story. That's great. All right. So, why country music? I mean, of all the genres you could have picked, why country?
I think country was just such a natural pick for me. Mum and Dad were always playing country music in the car when I was younger, and
okay.
You know, I think I just grew up with it. And obviously, moving to Tamworth at a young age, you're in the country music capital of Australia, so it's something that you're very surrounded by and sort of ingrained into you.
Okay. Now, I'm just curious, if you hadn't become involved in the music industry and become a musician, what do you think you'd be doing now?
Look, I don't know what I'd be doing, you know? Like, I mean, Mum and Dad, I played one season of footy, just right. You know, make them happy. I was like, look, I'm going to try sport for a season, and I learned pretty quickly. I learned about a quarter of the way through the season that I wasn't good, but Mum and Dad had already paid the noms, and I was in the team, so I couldn't really stop playing. Right. But I don't know. I mean, music's really been it for me. I think if I wasn't a singer per se, I think I'd still be something. I'd want to do something in this industry. I think it's just such an amazing thing to be a part of. Yeah. And there's so many things you can do in the music industry. You know, you can be a roadie, you can be a sound guy. Yeah, that's it. Like,
yeah.
I loved with this EP being able to be a bit more hands-on with the production. Like music production's something that really interests me as well.
Yep, it's as an ex-muso myself, I can recommend getting involved in the production side of stuff because it rounds you out as a musician if you understand that side of what you do.
Yeah, and I think that was the great thing, was really being able to be hands-on and understanding and being able to make, you know, those decisions with how the song has eventually ended up sounding. Yep,
it's very important, and it's good stuff. Like I said, it's good to have that in your toolbox as a musician. 100%. Yeah. Now, I know that your career's pretty much in the early stages at this stage, but I'm just curious, what's your most memorable experience so far as an artist?
Look, I think for me it's got to be the Luke tour, you know, being able to play to to that many people every night. And we have the one song, the last single, Ain't Too Much to Ask. We're playing that every night on tour, and to see, a really cool one for me was Rod Laver. That was a song we'd ask people to pull their phones out and turn their torches on, and to see a venue like Rod Laver Arena just lit up for me was such an indescribable feeling.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that would have been amazing, absolutely amazing.
It was. I don't have words for it. It's been 8 months. It's one of those once in a lifetime opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that, and I envy you. Yeah, that's good stuff. Now, I'd like to just explore what your influences have been so far. What have been your main influences as an artist so far?
Look, my influences, it's kind of varied throughout my life. When I was younger and started sort of getting into music, it was, Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn, Randy Travis, that sort of thing were in the car. But then sort of younger years, I really dived heavily into the Australian country music with the Adam Harvey and the Wolf Brothers, Lee Koenig, and, those sort of people. But since I've gotten a little older, I've been really gravitated towards the American scene and the songwriting caliber that kind of comes with that. There's so many amazing songwriters over there, and they just produce hit after hit. So I've really been loving that. People like Hardy and Ernest, who are singer-songwriters, I really love them.
Yep. They got some really talented people over there, don't they?
Oh yeah, look, it's one of those places where if you really want to make it, that's where you've got to be.
Yeah, well, it's the world mecca of country music for a reason, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's not to say that we don't have some great talent here in Australia. We do, and we do have a lot of it, considering how small our population is.
We do. I mean, you look at, like I said, the Wolf Brothers, Brad Cox, Casey Barnes. There's so many amazing country artists.
Yeah, Troy Cassadaly.
Oh yeah, for sure, Troy Cassadaly. One of the legends of Australian country music.
Yeah, and a really nice guy. And I find it, just about everyone in country music is a really nice person to talk to. That they don't put on airs and graces. They're just really down to earth people.
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, the Australian country scene's so welcoming. I used to be a little fanboy to a bunch of these artists who'd sit up the front of their shows and then take photos with them after the gigs. But to now be able to sit there and have a chat with them, sort of as a colleague and a partner in this industry, it's such an amazing thing.
Yeah, they don't look down on you, do they?
No, that's it. Like I've had imposter syndrome. Last year was my first go on guitars, and I walked in with major imposter syndrome. I was like, I shouldn't be here, like I'm this little 16-year-old kid from Tamworth, and then I'm here at the Golden Guitars, about to walk the red carpet. But everyone there's so lovely, and all they want is the best for each other, and I think that's what makes the Australian country music scene so good. Yeah, and I think that's a staple, I think, of country people, country music people, pretty much anywhere you go. They're just so helpful and friendly, and they're not they don't put themselves up on a pedestal or anything like that. I think that's a mark of country music in general, in my experience anyway. It is. Yeah. And that's one of the things I like about not only the music, but just the people themselves who make the music. They're just really nice people. That's it. It's just fair income, honest people, and I think that really is what comes across in the music and why people love it so much.
Exactly. I agree with you. Yeah. All right. So, tell us what's the favourite thing about being a performer, about being up on stage in front of a crowd, and entertaining them.
I think for me, it's just being able to travel and play places that I never dreamed of. Like if you would have told me, "Oh, Lane, you're going to play a show in New Zealand, or you're going to go to Perth and then play a festival," like these things are just, they were beyond my grasp. But to be able to do it and to see people there who know my songs and are dancing and are singing and are really reacting to me and what I'm doing, that's what's so amazing to me.
Okay, yeah, I get that. It would be an absolute buzz, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of the perks with this job, is just to be able to do so much. Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of the reasons you pay your dues.
Oh yeah.
Now, you've got this great EP that's out and about now that people can go and get, and some great stuff. All of it's great. You know, there's some terrific songs on that EP. It's well worth getting, in my humble opinion. But I'm just curious, is there any prospect of an album coming out sometime?
Look, for sure, an album's definitely on the cards for me. I think I really want to get an album, you know, something a little bit longer out there for sure. I think maybe I might do another EP first to really establish my sound, but an album within the next 2 or 3 years is something that I definitely really want to get into.
Okay, all right. I would love to. I'd love to get it. You know, your next EP, but certainly an album. If you put out an album, I want a copy of it. You know. So that's something I look forward to. And as your career progresses, I don't think it's going to be too far down the track before we do see a Lane Pittman album out on the shelves.
Oh, thank you so much. And I've been really lucky up to this point to, you know, get where I am. And you know, it's a lot of hard work in this industry, but I'm just really, really grateful to have an amazing team around me.
Yeah. It is very hard work, and people don't appreciate that, but a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. But it's worth it, you know, I think anyway.
It is.
You know.
It's you know, all the hard work kind of goes away, and you forget about that stress when you get out on stage.
Yep.
And you see people loving the music that you put out.
It's a great feeling, I know.
Oh, it is. It's something that you can really only get in this industry, I think.
I think so too, yeah. I absolutely agree with you. All right, now, here's a bit of a strange question, and it's one that people tend to struggle with, but I'll ask you anyway. If you could pick 3 people to be on stage with, any 3 people, doesn't matter who they are, who would they be?
Oh, 3 people. Look, I think I'd get an Australian, definitely. I mean, I think Troy Casadei would be a great pick, you know, to be able to share the stage.
Sure.
With him, I think in terms of, you know, out of the country genre, maybe like Elton John, it's really out there, but he's just someone who's been around for ages, and he's such an amazing, you know, artist and songwriter. And
that's one you don't hear very often, I've got to tell you, but I get it, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I think in terms of, you know, a performer, like as an artist, I think Freddie Mercury would be really cool from Queen. You know, like his stage presence and the way he could command a crowd, just himself is something that really needs to be studied. And I'd love, you know, the chance to have shared the stage with him.
I think he could do a lot worse as a role model. He certainly was a consummate entertainer, and if you could learn from anything from him, it'd be worth having.
Oh yeah,
you know. So yeah, that's great. Alrighty, we're just about out of time, but just quickly, what's next for you?
Look, after this East Coast tour, I'm going over to play CMA Fest in June in Nashville, which is going to be really fun. I'm playing the Spotlight stage over there on the 6th of June.
Well, that's I'm blown away. That's great. Yeah, good for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's one of those festivals that it's kind of a dream for a country artist to be on. So for me, at such a young age, to be over there and being able to play that festival is really cool. Okay, good.
Don't burn yourself out, mate, but, you know, keep it up. Keep it up. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Look, thanks for taking the time to have a chat with me here on your Sunday afternoon, Lane. I do appreciate it. And,
thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I don't think this will be the last time that you and I have a chat on the phone.
No, we've got to tee one up again real soon. I'm sure it's been.
We have to. Yeah, when your next EP or whatever comes out, you know, I'll look forward to talking to you again. In the meantime, look after yourself. Keep on doing what you're doing, and all the best to you. I wish you every success because you've earned it and you deserve it. So, yep, take it easy, mate. And we'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.